Tonight, up in flames. What we know about a well-known building in downtown Duluth and a fire this weekend.
Plus the ins and outs, how a Duluthian is helping people understand politics before hitting the polls on Election Day.
And later, COVID cases soar in Wisconsin, while the state is seeing numbers that compare to only 2 other states in the country.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. In an election week like this, some of us may be wishing maybe we still had that stashed away high school civics textbook somewhere safe.
If you find yourself with questions about the ins and outs of politics on election night, a former Duluth teacher has found a unique way to help no matter how old you are. CBS 3's Ryan Campo introduces us to Sharon McMahon and her special project.
It is unconstitutional for a governor to force you to wear a mask.
Former Duluth government teacher Sharon McMahon has gone from teaching kids in the classroom to teaching the general public on how to stay politically informed.
It's important that people have access to fact-based, nonpartisan information.
I'm Sharon McMahon, longtime government teacher.
Which is why McMahon is using that teaching background to create 7 3- to 5-minute videos answering political questions for people as young as middle school.
It is important that Gen Z, people who are in middle school, high school, early college years right now, it is important that they understand how it works so that they can actually participate meaningfully.
McMahon says she uses made-up candidates and characters to illustrate those points to make it entertaining for her viewers.
This is not actually Donald Trump. You know what I mean? These are like fictitious little characters that I can use to illustrate the point without mentioning candidate names.
In her videos, McMahon breaks down topics like the Electoral College and how it works, and other questions new to 2020, like how governors get the power to create face mask mandates.
I started asking people, what questions do you have? What would you like to know about? And then I do polls to say, what should I talk about this week? And I let their questions dictate what it is that I should talk about, because that's obviously what they're hungry to know.
Ultimately, McMahon says she hopes this project will help people turn off what she calls the social media noise to get the correct information they need to know.
Misinformation is a threat to democracy. It truly is. And so understanding the fundamentals can help combat that.
Mandates. A couple of things.
McMahon says teachers have been using her videos, during virtual classroom exercises. She hopes they'll help kids understand the process when it's eventually their time to vote. If you'd like to check out these videos before you head to the polls, we have a link on our website.
Minnesota's 8th District candidate Quinn Nystrom says she's feeling cautiously optimistic going into Election Day. The Democratic candidate held an outdoor campaign event in Duluth today. She says in 2018, Minnesota saw low voter turnout in some precincts. She's working to make sure everyone knows their voice matters. Nystrom says meeting people and hearing their stories keeps her pushing toward the finish line.
I'm motivated by the people who want a better district, want a better state, want a better country, and they believe that by voting for me, that I will represent the people when I go to Washington, D.C. to represent them.
Nystrom says being the first woman nominated as a candidate for the 8th District and possibly the first woman to represent the 8th District also keeps her motivated. We did reach out to Republican incumbent Pete Stauber's campaign about his final message to voters, but have not heard back. Stauber is hosting a small watch party tomorrow night, but media is not allowed to attend.
A reminder of when your ballots are due and where you can return them. In Minnesota, if you're hand delivering your absentee ballot, it's due to your county or city clerk no later than 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If you've already voted by mail, your ballot must be received by 8 p.m. Election Day, or it may not be counted. Officials say it's too late to vote by mail if you haven't already sent it out. A reminder, you can still register to vote at polls on Election Day.
In Wisconsin, it's too late to request or send an absentee ballot by mail. If you still have your ballot, it must be returned in person by 8 p.m. tomorrow to the city or county clerk's office. You can also vote and register to vote in person on Election Day. In Michigan, all ballots must be received by the city clerk no later than 8 o'clock tomorrow. If you still have an absentee ballot, you're asked to return it in person. Michigan also offers same-day registration to vote. All 3 states offer in-person voting from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. For more information on voting, you can head on over to our website.
We might have to wait a while to see election results in Wisconsin. Election officials are saying they likely won't have the unofficial results until Wednesday sometime. That's due to the pandemic and record numbers of absentee ballots. Megan Wolf, the state's chief election official, says it will take a little longer to make sure every ballot is counted. The White House is adding a layer of protection ahead of Election Day. A non-scalable fence is expected to be placed around the entire perimeter of the White House. This will be the same kind of fencing that was put up this summer during protests in Washington, D.C. The fence comes as police and other officials are getting ready for possible protests related to the 2020 presidential election outcome. Many businesses near the White House have already boarded doors and windows, fearing civil unrest after Election Day.
And Dave's here for our first look at the weather tonight. Dave, it was borderline hot out there for this time of year.
Yeah, it really was. November sure turning around from what October was. October turned out to be cooler than normal. So let's take a look at the stats. And the mean temperature for the month of October turned out to be 5.2 degrees cooler than it should be. But factoring in the rest of the year-to-date departure from normal is still a little over 1 degree warmer than normal. Now the November trend, well, some sources that do long-range forecasting think will be normal here this month, but we're starting the month on a warmer than normal note from twin high-pressure systems that will make it sunny and warm around here pretty much all week long, including Tuesday, where our day planner says we'll start around 32 and finish pretty close to 60 degrees. The normal's in the mid-40s this time of year. I'll talk about how long specifically this warm spell will last and how high or how low the crash will be once we go back to normal, maybe next week.
Thanks, Dave. Well, tonight we're hearing from Duluth's fire chief after a building that's been the subject of controversy for decades went up in flames again yesterday. CBS 3's John Carnelli joins us live from downtown Duluth outside the Pastorate Terrace building, home of the former Cozy Bar. John, what do you know?
Tony, the fire broke out here yesterday around 9:30 a.m. and tonight, actually, they just pulled up here not too long ago. Some contractors now beginning to board up the building, and also down the street here at the intersection of First Street and 2nd Avenue East. The intersection is blocked off as fire officials tell us they are still investigating the cause of this fire. According to Duluth Fire Chief Sean Creuset, the fire was put out around 3 yesterday afternoon, but crews stayed overnight to make sure there were no flare-ups. No one was hurt. We still don't know how much damage was done to the vacant building or how the fire started. Chief Creuset wouldn't speculate at this point if he thinks it's suspicious. He says they've spent the day investigating how structurally sound the building is. Right now, fire crews are looking out the outside. Tomorrow, they hope to move that investigation inside. But at a glance, Creuset says he thinks the building itself is questionable.
For me, from a firefighting standpoint, it's questionable, so that's why we've had this order again for a few years that our crews are not going to enter the building unless there's a legitimate life safety concern, meaning a legitimate rescue, someone.
We mentioned this isn't the first time this building has been victim to a major fire. In November 2010, another major blaze seriously damaged the building, which was also home to low-income apartments at the time. After that fire a decade ago, the building went into tax forfeiture. It was owned by Eric's Rings Red at the time, but then the Duluth Economic Development Authority took ownership about a year later. And since then, the Rings Reds have sued to keep this building up. DEDA has tried to demolish the building. That decision is still tied up in the courts.
And John, as we reported last week, this fire comes just 5 days after DEDA actually approved a $135,000 contract for repairs to this very same building. What do we know there? Is that still going to move forward?
That's right, Tony. So city officials tell us they still plan on discussing that at the next city council meeting next week. And the $135,000 that you mentioned, that would go towards making sure that this building can withstand the rough winter that may be ahead.
Something we'll certainly keep our eye on and keep following. John Carnelli live for us in downtown Duluth. Thanks, John.
An update now to a story we first brought you last night. We're learning 2 people were flown to a Twin Cities hospital after a fire in downtown Hibbing. The fire started just after 9:30 yesterday morning inside a building near 4th Avenue and East Howard Street. When crews arrived, they found a woman who had made it out on her own. She was taken to the emergency room. The second victim showed up at the hospital on their own. Both were airlifted to HCMC. We don't know their names or how bad they were hurt. It took crews several hours to put the fire out, which they said didn't spread past that one building. No word yet on the cause or how much damage the fire did. The state fire marshal is investigating.
Switching gears, gas prices have fallen to under $2 a gallon in 20 states, including Minnesota and Wisconsin. A majority of service stations are seeing these lower prices. Oil prices are said to be falling partly because of concerns over a second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prices also typically go down as we move into fall and winter. Prices at the pump are now down to levels not seen nationwide in more than 4 months.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, COVID-19 cases have been surging in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. We'll have updated information on the surges next.
Normal high temp this date, 43 degrees at Duluth Airport. We made it to 51. It's the start of a warm spell that should be with us during the work week. The weekend might hold the next round of changes. We'll talk about that timeline coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3.
Season 2 is
The
here,
Kelly
y'all.
Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS3.
It's the Veterans Day sale at Home Furniture. Everything is on sale. Plus, take an extra 10% off sale prices on any purchase with zero down, no interest financing until 2022 and free no contact shipping on orders $4.99 or more. The Veterans Day sale, now at Home Furniture.
It isn't always easy living in the Northland. Up here, we have to count on our neighbors and let them know they can always count on us. I have the honor of serving our community in the state assembly. Down there, I'm fighting to make healthcare more affordable and broadband more accessible. My opponent has other ideas. He wants to help companies like Foxconn give tax cuts and bailouts to billionaires, leaving us behind. I'm Beth Myers, and you can always count on me.
It's been said, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And these young artists mirror the best, the masters that came before them. The legacy lives on.
It's coming. You ready? Because Toro's Snow Days sale is here. With the #1 brand in snowblowers, you will dominate winter. And now during Toro's Snow Days, get up to $100 off select 2-stage snowblowers, up to $40 off select 60-volt battery snowblowers, and up to $50 off select single-stage snowblowers. Plus great financing offers. Win winter with Toro.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
Home World Rugs Progressive Rug Sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Up to $500 off sale prices on any rug, $199 or more. Every shape, size, pattern, and color rug on sale now. Up to 56% off regular prices. The Progressive Rug Sale at Home World Rugs.
It is the question that matters the most.
¿Dónde está?
That takes you behind the story.
Robert.
It drives everything we do. It is the foundation of trust.
Who did all of this?
And the truth that propels us forward.
What did you make of that?
It is the question. One word, 3 letters long. And without it, our purpose,
that's news,
and our freedom fade. This is why.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS3.
The Kelly Clarkson Show, right here.
Weekdays at 3 on CBS3. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, after shaking off that chilly October, a warm November is already here. And here's a look at today's high temps then. Keeping in mind the normal's 43 to 45 or 48 degrees, 51 in Hermantown, 55 for the folks in Superior, 56 in Ashland seems to be the warm temp for today. But tomorrow we could top that by a few degrees. Upper 50s through lower 60s just might be with us until Saturday. Then things will start to dial down a little bit Sunday and especially into Monday when we could crash down into the 30s and go cooler than normal. That's the way the weather works. What goes up must come down. And here's what's coming down from the airport right now. It's 43 degrees according to the current conditions. It's 58% for the relative humidity with a westerly wind hitting 8 miles per hour and air pressure holding steady at 30 inches even and likely will stay on the higher side probably through Saturday. In fact, our next rain chance may not be until Sunday. Our next snow chance might be next Monday. Current temperatures are going 42 to 43 from Ironwood to Watersmeet, and we're running 39 to 44 in northern Wisconsin. Cool spots Hayward now. Warm spot is Ashland with Superior in between. 41's the current temp towards the Moose Lake area, east central Minnesota. North Shore numbers are running 39 to 45, and Iron Range numbers have dipped now into the 30s, down to 33 for the folks in Hibbing. I do think tomorrow morning's low temps are going to be in the lower 30s for most towns, though some Iron Range places could indeed dip into the upper 20s. But upper 20s above zero, that's child's play for our neck of the woods. Doppler map right now shows higher pressure center to the west and down to the south, doing a good job of taking over our entire area and chasing away any clouds that we have, and it just might stay clear to partly cloudy then through Friday, with an uptick in clouds finally happening for Minnesota Deer opener next Saturday. So the twin highs, one to the south like we mentioned, one to the west, bringing sunny and warm conditions from Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday into Monday will be the days of change when the clouds go back up and a rain-snow mix comes our way. Looks like a 50% chance for Sunday and a 30% chance for next Monday. So warmer than normal until Saturday, then normal starts to return come Sunday. And now tonight in Minnesota, look for a partly cloudy sky with low temps from 27 to about 35. In Wisconsin and Michigan, range of low temps there runs 29 to 33. For tomorrow, partly cloudy to mostly sunny for Wisconsin and Michigan with highs from 59 to 63, so almost 20 degrees warmer than normal for some places. Into Minnesota, the range will go as cool as 53 right by the lake to as warm as 62 down around Willow River, Moose Lake, and Barnum. And pretty much the rest of the week will follow suit with upper ranges of high temps running upper 50s to lower 60s. And clear from Wednesday through Friday. Then the clouds start to increase Saturday, Tony, for the Deer opener in Minnesota. Sunday is a day with a high still in the mid-50s, but the clouds will be up and the rain could be coming down. Next Monday is the day we get rid of the warm spell. A cold snap could hit us, and we get a chance for snow with a high of only 37.
That's quite the payoff after a forecast like that. We're back to shorts and T-shirts practically for the rest of this week.
Yeah, and I have a feeling one of my fun cars will have to come out of storage for a couple of days, for a couple of cruises.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out for which one it is, but I have a feeling I know which one it is. Thanks, Dave. Minnesota health officials say the number of confirmed COVID cases has topped 150,000 since the start of the pandemic. Numbers released Sunday showed an increase of 2,200 positive tests for COVID-19 and 18 deaths in the last day. Residents of long-term care facilities accounted for 13 of the fatalities. The death toll stands at more than 2,400. The COVID tracking project shows Minnesota currently ranks 15th in the country for new cases per capita. The death count is the 24th highest in the country overall.
Meanwhile, Wisconsin continues to report record high numbers. Health officials reported nearly 3,500 new cases and 16 deaths on Sunday. The state has recorded nearly 229,000 cases since the start of the pandemic. More than 2,000 people have died from the virus statewide. The COVID tracking project reports Wisconsin ranks third in the country behind North Dakota and South Dakota for new cases per capita. The death count is the 27th highest in the country overall and the 39th highest per capita.
Coming up in sports, run, Dalvin, run. How the Vikings ran all over the Packers at Lambeau. Kelly has all of these juicy highlights coming up next.
Boat inventory on select London 19 and 20 models available.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Hello, I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet. For the month of November, we are offering free upgrades to a premium wall system for all your bath and shower purchases. All of our products are backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval and come with a lifetime warranty. You can still get one of our great financing options for low monthly payments or 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments till 2022. This offer ends November 30th, so call us today or go online to book your appointment. Bath Planet, out of this world service and down to earth price.
We've been through a lot this year, and it all feels so personal. Your health and your family's well-being, the businesses you built, your kids' education. So many of you have told me that you want us to move forward, get this virus under control, rebuild American manufacturing, support innovation and small businesses, make America work for all of us. I'm Tina Smith, and I approve this message because we get it done when we work together.
Real steel. Find yours and find what fuels you. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Pick up at over 9,000 local steel dealers. Find yours at steeldealers.com.
Injured? Call Stockman Law Office. Automobile collision injuries involving taxis, Ubers, lifts, buses, semis, and motorcycles. Call anytime, 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
What do you get when you add care from Essentia Health and coverage from UCare? Essentia Care, now available for a more affordable price. Essentia Care's Medicare Advantage plans have premiums that start at $0 per month in select counties. You'll be able to see your Essentia Health provider at our 15 hospitals and 71 clinics. Plus, Essentia Care plans allow you the freedom to see any provider who accepts Medicare. Compare and shop plans at ucare.org/EssentiaCare.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Warm up at Perkins with our new pot roast specials featuring our mouth-watering pot roast stroganoff, sizzling fajita breakfast quesadilla, savory pot roast melt, and more. Home-style pot roast favorites available now for a limited time at a Perkins near you, and always served safely, whether you dine in, order online, or get it to go. Nothing sweetens the season like a fresh baked pie from Perkins Holiday Bake Shop. Reserve yours today. Order now at perkinstogo.com.
Season 2 is
The
here,
Kelly
y'all.
Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on CBS3.
In a Minnesota Vikings season that has featured very few bright spots so far, Minnesota finally broke through with a big win in Green Bay yesterday. Can I get a hallelujah? Dalvin Cook was cooking at Lambeau Field with 226 total yards and 4 touchdowns, both season highs for him. Cook touched the ball on 32 of Minnesota's 52 total offensive snaps, taking the workload off of Kirk Cousins. The Vikings tallied a huge 28-22 road win over their division rivals to keep them from dropping out of contention in the NFC. It was Mike Zimmer's first win over a Matt LaFleur-led Packers team, and a win they'll look to build on moving forward.
You know, he played an awful lot yesterday, but he felt great. You know, so it seemed like every time he was in there, we were moving the ball really well. So and part of that is, you know, with him being in there, that the defense expecting some of the runs, so some of the other things opened up. But yeah, we're going to have to ride this guy. He's a good player. Not that we don't have confidence in Alexander Madison, because we do. He had some good runs. He just didn't get a lot of opportunities yesterday.
And the Vikings are back at home for another NFC North matchup with the Lions next Sunday. As for the Packers, Sunday's loss wasn't the only blow of their week. This morning, the team announced that a player has tested positive for COVID-19. Multiple outlets, including NFL Network and ESPN, are reporting that the positive test was rookie running back A.J. Dillon. Green Bay did place him on the COVID-19 reserve list this morning and conducted all of their football activities remotely today. And they did allow certain players into the building for body recovery workouts on a distance basis. He's the first active Packers player to test positive for the virus so far this season. Head coach Matt LaFleur says that all signs point toward playing on Thursday night in San Francisco as scheduled.
It's the situation that we're presented with, and we're going to make the best of it. It's not an excuse to go out there and play bad or anything like that. It is what it is, man. And you got to adapt and adjust. And that's just the circumstances that we're dealt with. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
And we're nearing the halfway point of the high school volleyball season in Minnesota. Tonight is the first of two matchups as East faces Denfeld. We'll have the highlights coming up at 10. Well, if the 2020 election year has shown us anything in the world of sports, it's that there are some athletes that are not afraid to stand up and say what is so for them. And for UMD Athletics, that is getting out there and voting. The UMD women's hockey team released this video on social media earlier today for Bulldog Country.
We vote because we want to make a difference. We vote because we want to exercise the right that women before us have fought hard for.
We vote because
we want to use our voices. We vote because we want to take part in something bigger than ourselves. We vote because our vote matters.
You heard him. Go vote. That's going to do it for Sports. We'll have more here back tonight at 10. Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, last Friday, we brought you a story about a 5th grade class that launched a weather balloon. And tonight, we will take a look at the journey the balloon took and what the 5th grade class learned from it. While you're watching the polls tomorrow night, why not treat yourself to some Election Day discounts and freebies while you hang out with us, right?
Us, obviously, because we're going to be on pretty much all night
Yes.
last night. But those freebies Kristen was talking about, well, several big chain restaurants are offering deals while the ballots roll in. Burger King is offering $3 off orders of $18 or more through Grubhub. McDonald's is giving away apple fritters, blueberry muffins, and cinnamon rolls through its app. Those must be new, right, Kristen?
I think so.
And Wendy's, you can get a free classic chicken sandwich with any purchase. I think I'm going to hit up all three of those. We're going to need some energy. And
Yeah, you can make a quick run for us.
Yeah.
And we can,
get a couple of those sugary apple fritters from McDonald's and keep us cooking through
We're
the
going to
night.
need a little boost.
Yeah.
All right, well, Dave, we are lucking out here because tomorrow's Election Day, and generally I would say it's a little chilly outside, but
it's going to be warm this time around. Now, 10 o'clock, that story on the weather balloon, I'm fascinated to see that. Because statistically, only 10 to 20% of those are ever found again. So if they found the data pack for those kids, they were awfully lucky. And if you like warmer than normal conditions, you're awfully lucky this week because it's going to be warm and sunny now through at least Friday, maybe even Saturday as well. High temps, upper 50s towards 60 and dry as a bone. Then precip could start wafting our way by Sunday, and that'll help bring our change in the weather, dropping our highs back into the 30s. So warmer than normal through Sunday, then cooler than normal by Monday.
Thanks for joining us.